Alright, guys, the most insane backstage demands artists have made, guys. I was researching a little bit about this channel, and I was wondering, they got 359,000 subscribers or whatever. Like, why do they only have like 10,000 videos on this views on this video, guys? Like, that's pretty low for a channel of this size. But hey, it could be a lot worse, guys. You could be like FanOf, guys. You could be like FanOf, and guys, you know how many views we get on our videos. Just look on our page if you don't look at our recent uploads, guys. They're a lot less, but then again, this guy's actually making the video here, so it's a little bit of a difference. Let me take my inhaler. Ooh, I was looking for that. It was in front of me the whole time. Alright, guys, let's check it out.
Rock band Van Halen famously requested that their dressing room provide them with M&Ms, but with all of the brown ones taken out. When this leaked to the press, the band was ridiculed and portrayed as egotistical and self-centered divas. However, this request and many other bizarre
Van Halen. I'm pretty sure Eminem. That's something I do when I was like 7 years old, bro. 7 years old, guys. They do taste different, don't they? Don't M&Ms taste different? I don't know, guys. I don't really eat M&Ms that much, so.
Backstage requests made by musicians are actually a lot more common than we think. When musicians are touring, they'll provide the venue with what's called a rider's request. This is a contract between the venue and the artist and contains everything that the artist will need to perform.
Bro. Anyone remember Juice WRLD's? Man, that's so cool being an artist though, man. Getting a bunch of stuff.
And Van Halen's rider request contained the now infamous line, "We want M&Ms in the backstage," and in blocked capitals, "Absolutely no brown ones."
What the heck, bro? You want somebody reaching in your food like that, guys? Because I personally don't, man. Come on now.
This insane demand eventually got leaked to the media, and there was a lot of sympathy for the staff who had to go through bags of M&Ms and remove the brown ones.
Hey, I'm sure it's not a huge band or anything, guys. You know what I mean? It's not a huge request. It's not a huge band, bro. It's gonna be easy. It's gonna be easy for them.
The Racing Journal Times reported, in catering to the taste of his stars, the stage manager of Landmark Productions had to pluck all the brown ones out of 6 bags of the little goodies. He can now attest that a typical bag contains more brown than any other color.
Does it really? Dang, bro. They're cutting corners, man. Alright.
What's more, if the members of Van Halen found a single brown M&M, they would sometimes refuse to play and sometimes trash up the dressing rooms.
Dude, they do that. Diva alert. Guys, there. Come on now. Don't be like that. You know what I mean? Don't be like that. And they're still millionaires today.
While 99.9% of people will not be able to taste the difference between the
I like sour Skittles. That's all I'm saying. Sorry, guys, just spit in a can.
brown M&Ms and the rest, Van Halen clearly took offense at the mere sight of them in their dressing room.
Damn, bro.
However, in 1997, Van Halen singer David Lee Roth explained why in his autobiography. He wrote, "Van Halen was the first band to take huge productions into tertiary third-level markets. We'd pull up with 9 18-wheeler trucks, full of gear, where the standard was 3 trucks max. And there were many, many technical errors, whether it was the girders couldn't support the weight, or
Dude, that's scary, bro. You gotta make sure all these parameters are okay, man, at this venue. Hundreds of staff. Pretty wild, pretty wild.
the flooring would sink in, or the doors weren't big enough to move the gear through. So just as a little test, in the technical aspect of the rider, it would say, Article 148.
Guys, I don't understand. Like, what does he mean by gear, bro? It's a small, I mean, it's not like they're bringing freaking... I don't understand, guys. What is gear, bro?
There will be 50.
Like, the guitars and stuff aren't gonna need that... 3 trucks is enough for the guitars and stuff. Like, I don't know.
15 amperage voltage
Like, are they staying there all week, bro? They're staying there all week, and then I see how it is. But if it's a night, never mind.
sockets at 20-foot spaces, evenly providing 19 amperes. This kind of thing. In article number 126, in the middle of nowhere was, there will be no brown M&Ms in the backstage area, upon pain of forfeiture of the show with full compensation. So when I would walk backstage, if I saw a brown M&M in that bowl, well, line check the entire production. Guaranteed you're going to arrive at a technical error. They didn't read the contract. Guaranteed you'd run into a problem. Sometimes it would threaten to just destroy the whole show. Something like literally life-threatening. It shouldn't
Imagine just like walking in there, everything's prepared perfectly, and then you just see like one brown M&M. One brown M&M, bro. I guess it's like a pet peeve. Come on now. Don't be hating on M&Ms,
be
man.
understated just how dangerous a technical fault can be on stage. In 1992, the lead singer of the rock band Metallica suffered second-degree burns from a pyrotechnical accident. You could seriously endanger yourself if all of the equipment is not rigorously checked and put in the right place. A slightly different story happened to Jack White, best known as the singer from the White Stripes. He was performing a solo tour in 2015 and gave an incredibly strange demand backstage. He requested guacamole but wanted this made from scratch by using a recipe he included within the contract. He also demanded that there were no bananas in the building whatsoever. News reports came out and portrayed White as a bit of a diva. An article for NPR came with the headline, "For musician Jack White."
I mean, he likes his guacamole done in a certain way, guys. Everybody has their favorite food, bro. I guess they're hating on him because, you know, we don't have the option to make requests like this, bro. But I'm sure if we had enough money, guys, we'd be making requests like this, right, guys? If we had the privilege.
Any old guacamole just won't do. He was quite annoyed by this and wrote on his website, "This guacamole recipe is my hilarious tour manager's inside joke with the local promoters. It's his recipe, not mine. It's just something to break up the boredom, seeing who can make it best." The Foo
Honestly, a very, 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 very legitimate, honest response there, guys.
Fighters also have a manager who has become notorious for making jokes on these requests. A 2008 rider request included 1 bag of pirate booty, a selection of cereals not recycled from, quote, last night's show, 4 bottles of Gatorade in wacky colors, and DVDs that don't feature Jamie Kennedy, Martin Lawrence, or sports. Dave Grohl, the lead singer of the Foo Fighters, said in a 2011 interview that most of these rider requests are for the crew rather than the band itself. He said, "Most of the rider is meant to make sure that the road crew are fed properly. Those guys show up at effing 7 o'clock in the morning, and they don't leave that venue until about 2 o'clock in the morning."
Damn, bro, that's like 15 hours of work, man.
To be honest, that rider has more to do with them than anybody else. I could survive on microwave burritos and Crown Royal. However, the no bananas rule on Jack White's rider form was not a joke. After clarifying that the guacamole recipe was an
Hey, microwave burritos. They are fire. They are fire, guys.
inside joke, he explained the bananas situation and wrote, "Did it
The banana situation reminds me of Amazing Atheist, guys, if anyone remembers that.
occur to anyone that someone on the tour might have an allergy to them? No? One day some fantasy journalist out there will call someone in the biz and actually have a rider explain to them. This might explain one of Katy Perry's peculiar requests for fresh flowers, where she asks for preferably white and purple hydrangeas, pink and white roses, and peonies. Failing that, she will grudgingly accept seasonal white flowers with orchids, but absolutely no carnations. She's been portrayed as a diva for her blanket refusal of carnations, but allergies could be a reason.
Oh, right. I'm allergic to one medication, bro. If I come in contact with that medication, I get severe shortness of breath. Severe difficulty breathing, guys. Legit. Yeah, she's just probably allergic.
A seemingly over-the-top measure from Beyoncé's team was to make sure all of the staff wore 100% cotton to prevent any allergic reactions. This might be an extreme measure, but it's important to remember what's at stake. In May of this year, Beyoncé broke a record for the largest audience this century for a female artist, where she entertained 53,000 fans in Belgium.
What? In Belgium, of all places, guys? Oh wait, Beyonce's huge. But I thought it was gonna be like Taylor Swift, guys.
Millions of dollars were on the line here, and this fundamentally depends on the health and well-being of one person. And the money from this tour is not just going into Beyonce's pockets. The livelihoods of the people working with Beyonce and the people working with the venue all depend on Beyonce delivering this
That is true.
performance. So getting the limo driver to check the back of his shirt to make sure there's no polyester is not just for Beyonce's well-being. It's for the bar staff, the security guards, the cleaners, the concert crew, and the countless other people that rely on Beyonce performing well and satisfying the crowd.
I assume she's allergic to it, right, guys? I know I'm spitting so much.
Paul McCartney also had a bizarre list of requests. He's an active animal rights campaigner, so he doesn't want any animal products within his vicinity, to the extent that leather seating in both the dressing room and the limo is strictly prohibited. While this might be a bit extreme, it will underline
Hey, at least I read right there that at least there you can buy hot dogs and meat pies from the concession stand.
his activism if he's photographed using leather seats. However, the former Beatle is also incredibly picky about the lamps and plants he wants in his dressing room. One of the requests says, all lamps must be halogen floor lamps with dimmer switch, and we want plants that are just as full on the bottom as the top, such as palm, bamboo, peace lilies, etc. No tree trunks. And while this might make McCartney look like a diva, there's more to it than that. As Joe Taysom from Far Out magazine wrote, when you're an artist operating on the level of McCartney, in all likelihood, the rider isn't written by him, but by an assistant on his behalf. Therefore, while they may seem like a diva list of demands, it's worth remembering that it probably wasn't McCartney's idea. However, the requests are undoubtedly fine-tuned to create the optimal environment for the former Beatle based on his tastes.
Okay. So they had like some researcher? But yeah, that'd be cool. Like, it's almost like a blank check, you know? What are your demands? What are your demands for you performing, bro? That's so cool. I'm totally new to this, by the way, guys, if you haven't realized.
And the same goes for Beyonce, who's presumably not writing these requests either. An interesting aspect of Beyonce's demands is that she's very specific in what food she wants. The rider request asks for juicy baked chicken,
But yeah, same here, man. I am very, very much a picky eater, bro.
legs, wings, and breast, along with instructions to please season with fresh garlic, seasoned salt, black pepper, and cayenne pepper. Alongside the chicken, she asked for steamed garlic broccoli, lightly seasoned green beans, and lightly seasoned steamed spinach. What Beyonce and her team are looking for here is consistency. They're traveling from city to city for weeks on end, so they need some level of familiarity within their daily lives. So when
Makes
Beyonce
sense.
gets off a long flight, she's presented with food that she knows will be specifically catered to her taste. If she just
Yay.
asks for chicken and vegetables, the venue might come up with all sorts of variations of this meal. There are other rider requests.
No, right? I mean, she could have asked for like some McDonald's or something. That's so freaking consistent. Probably one of the most consistent foods around.
That come from the fact that there are certain things that you cannot do while on tour. The Red Hot Chili Peppers asked for clean underwear on their rider request. The simple reason for this is that there's no time to do any laundry while on tour. Eminem asked for dumbbells because he can't just simply walk into a local gym. And of course, sometimes celebrities want extreme demands because of the stress and exhaustion that comes with touring. In 2010, Lady Gaga fainted on stage several times. Ye was hospitalized during his 2016 St. Pablo tour, and Zayn Malik had to cancel shows because of his anxiety in 2017. Touring, by all accounts, really takes it out of you. Santigold spoke about touring to Rolling Stone
Yeah, I also deal with anxiety, so I understand why he could.
magazine and said, touring is literally crisis management. It's all day, every day of crisis aversion. It's literally like, oh, I just pulled up to the show and I lost my voice because I'm so effing tired. And then I have to disappoint all these people. Oh, somebody's plane didn't arrive with our tour manager and all of our costumes. It's just literally nonstop. Everything's effed up. Then you go on stage and you're like screaming hello to 30,000 people. It's a very different requirement energetically, spiritually, mentally to have to carry
100%
that
understand.
night after night after night, 5 shows a week, at least. Alongside this, there are musicians with young children. 50 Cent said that Eminem struggled touring while having a young daughter. In a 2007 interview, 50 said, I've toured more than him because he has Haley, and he likes to physically be at the house. A lot of people don't know the reason behind him touring less, but Haley would put boxes in front of the door thinking this would stop him from going. He would fly back on a private plane
So that's where the lyric comes from, guys. Oh my goodness.
after the show so he could drive her to school in the morning. So for him, the tour was exhausting. And when most of us are exhausted or suffering from fatigue, we'll naturally reach for small comforts. On top of that, if you're a wealthy celebrity, these comforts can be a lot more extravagant than the average person. That being said, there are some rider requests from artists that are either made up by the media or a sign that the artist has somewhat lost the run of themselves. David Hasselhoff famously asked for a life-size cutout of David Hasselhoff in his dressing room. Justin Timberlake is believed to have requested that all of the doorknobs in his dressing room be disinfected every 2 hours. And allegedly, Eminem once requested to have his own koi pond in his dressing room. That being said, I'm sure Eminem brought in a lot more money than the cost of some exotic fish.
Still, it's going to cost a lot to move it over. Eminem and Daughter was one of the sweetest things. I know, right, guys? Now we know what the lyrics are for. If you don't know, you gotta watch it. One of his songs. Listen to, rather. Him and his daughter hit my heart hard. Yeah, same here. Watched DMX throw a tantrum because the show couldn't get KFC, but at different companies, and he flipped. It was a funny AF. Rip DMX, guys. Sorry, I'm spitting so much. See you guys next video. On to 7,000, guys. We are not gonna give up. Guys, 2024 will be our year, guys. I thought 2023 was gonna be our year, and it has kind of been our year, but I think 2024 and on will be our best years of our lives. And I'm pretty scared. Like, I'm kind of like in awe because, you know, I'm actually seeing results from YouTube, but I'm still like, let's see, 4 days. What's 4 more? I got like 8 more days of. We'll talk about it when it happens later, guys. See you guys next one.